Okay, we're rolling. How's it going? Okay, water walks. Haven't done one of these in a while. Haven't been doing them so much lately for whatever reason. Yeah. Look, you can tell it's the cool season. Oh, I'm pretty sweaty now, but I've got my wool stuff on. It wasn't that cold this morning, but it's probably about 15 or 16 degrees at home. It's cool for Thailand. But it'll probably, through December and January, it'll get down kind of regularly down to 10, I'd say. And it's almost for certain that we'll hit some temperatures in the 5 to 7 degree range, I'd say. More than likely. Yeah, but it's the cool season, which also sort of means the dry season. So it hasn't been raining. Although I think it rained. I was away for a couple of days in the city at my mom's. And when I was coming back up the mountain, it was, the roads were damp, I was coming up around noon, and it can take a while for those roads under the trees to dry out, even when it's sunny. But for the most part, we're not going to really have much rain. Or any. We'll have bits of rain here and there, but for the most part, none. So, this is my favorite time of year, I'd say. Kind of like Alberta summer. Highs of 22, 23, lows of 15, 16. Perfect. The trails are, these are like little burrs. The trails are damp still, and they stayed damp for a while. Because, the canopy is quite dense here. Canopy being the trees. And the trails will be damp for sure through December, I'd say. And then they'll be quite dry in January, more than likely. It kind of varies a bit year by year, but more or less that's how it goes. Yeah, and hopefully I'm going to do some more hiking, just general hiking, not just water hiking. Maybe I'll do some videos about that too. This is the time of year to go hiking in the forest, I'll tell you. It's beautiful. I have a friend coming from Taiwan. She's going to do some Quora stuff together, and she can stay up here. So I'll probably take her out on some trails and stuff, and that'll be a good motivation to get me out there, I'm kind of, I'm so much into guitar making right now that, I love being out in the woods and stuff, but I just get wrapped up and completely absorbed, and all of a sudden it's like 10 o'clock at night. But anyway, the guitar I'm working on now is going really well, I think, and I'm going to start doing the finish soon. Probably tomorrow. I'm going to kind of sand it and clean up any sort of off bits, which always happens. Look nice and pretty. Oops. Water spilling. That's one bottle done. That. Oops. Have this wire in the way here. Yeah. I guess I have nothing much to say, Things are just moving along. It'll soon be quite busy where I live in Mekongpong. It's already starting to get a little busy. Had Loy Krathong holiday last week. Of course, I wasn't here for that. But when it's busy, it doesn't really, on a me personally, it doesn't really affect me much because the house I live in is tucked in the woods. It's still in the village, but it's not like amongst everyone. And then I kind of go walking in the woods. No one, other than a few local people, I'll see once in a while, very rarely. Like I never see tourists on these trails, ever. I think there's guides and stuff. I think here that will take people out on hiking trips and stuff, treks. But I really don't see them much, and that's fine. I've often pondered, like, oh, this is the Canadian part of me, of talking to like Flight of the Gibbon, who do conservation efforts and lots of other things here, as well as the zip line thing. Every now and then I think, oh, I wonder if I should ask them if they want to set up a system of trails and things. You know, marked trails like we would have back in Canada and national parks and stuff. And so that thought goes through my mind and then it goes right out in my mind. Partly I wonder if people really want just your average person hiking up here. You know, it's like in an emergency. Whew. Very difficult to haul anyone down from here. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to local people, right? But like foreigners tend to be on the big side. I don't know how you'd ever get them off the mountain, right? Anyway, well, I'm sure you can. I'm sure it happens. But anyway, yeah, so, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not for me to say, right? It's for the people in the village to say. Whether they want people, non-local people, traipsing through the mountains here. Probably not, I guess. It's like the one last vestige? I don't know. One last area of non-tourism. But it's probably not that. It's probably just, people hiking these trails and it's like they're working, right? They're not just gallivanting like I do. There's coffee trees and tea trees all up through here. In fact, just up here, there's some tea trees there and up there too. Then over here, there's coffee and tea, I think. But anyway, wherever you go, you see it, right? But one thing about both the tea and the coffee is that it grows in the canopy. So you don't need to deforest things. Cheers. Best water in the world. Yeah, so it's a good way for people to make some money. Kind of a cash crop, I guess, in a way. But hey, so the coffee trees just grow in the forest. I don't think it causes much in the way of damage or habitat loss, and probably maybe even I don't know the ecological subtleties of coffee trees, shade-grown coffee trees. Anyway, what else to say before I head back down? Not much. On these walks, I would often talk about climate and habitat destruction. And nothing's changed in my mind or in the fact of, I don't think, but there's this thought I've had a number of times. Because, Facebook's, of course, is a nasty ass bit of business at times. Not always, but, and, quite often people go, oh, Trump is like, so I've been wanting to put this on someone's post that is complaining about Trump's climate policy, or his government, right? Or his devastation of the natural environment, which is, there's no question that is true, right? there's not much good on that end coming out of that bunch, in my opinion. Anyway, but what I always want to say is, look, you know, it's good to call people out on what you think is not right, you know. Well, I can't really see my face, can you? Cindy. But I always want to say, look, if you took some, like, say, a family, mother, father, a couple kids, and just sat them down and put me or anyone else, especially from North America or wherever, Europe, you know, like modern living people, and sat them down and explained to that family from 20,000 years ago what your lives are like, and Trump was right beside you, right? It was like 5 people describing their lives and what they have and what they do. Like, I to my thinking, I think, oh, those people from 20,000 years ago, they go, wow, they're all exactly the same. Like, there's no difference, right? So that's what I always want to say, right? Okay. Look, you know, I know you don't like Trump and everything, but you're basically exactly the same, right? So it doesn't mean not to complain about policies or what's going on, but it's just like, keep that in mind, actually, that maybe that, you know, anyway, it's because most people don't want to go back to living 20,000 years ago style, right? Although, of course, I would love that. Anyway, whatever. I guess that's it. Sometimes I'll walk and do something, but kind of don't feel like it. Now, it feels like this is a little bit, let's move this thing. This is a little bit of a non-thing video. But you know what I can do? I'm going to show you around the neighborhood of the hot spring. So I've done this before. This is where the spring is, right in the center there. You can't see it at all. But there's that big root ball tree, which you can just barely see now. And that tree fell down here. And look, people have been taking that fallen log and cutting it up. And that's the little stream that shoots off the extra flow from the spring. And here, see all that wood there? Someone's been up here cutting that big fallen log down. Cutting it up for boards and stuff. Looks sort of like my Purdue, but I don't know. It just kind of, well, it's hard to say. Yeah, nice day. Cloudy, a little bit, but not much. Cloudy and sunny. Up here, the ridge is up that way. Probably about almost halfway to the ridge, maybe a third of the way to that ridge up there. Anyway, soon I should do a ridge walk. It's really beautiful. Maybe when Iki comes. Okay, there's my pack basket. There's my water. My little stick for walking. Guess that's it. Yeah, so hope everyone's doing good. And maybe I'll do a bit more video on the way down, but I think maybe not. Okay, ciao. Hope, have a great week. Yeah, so I wasn't gonna do this, but I did it anyway. If you've seen these endless videos of water walks, almost always I'll get the camera open up at this part of the trail. It's kind of an open part of the hill. It's a very steep hill. Like if you were to slip down there, you just roll for like 50 meters, I'm sure. Although you might get stopped by a tree or a bush. Anyway, I just love this section. There's kind of something magic about it, you know? It's where a lot of spirits live, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, couldn't help myself. Even though I said I probably wouldn't. Whatever. Yeah. It's a little jerky because I just have it in my hand. And no microphone, other than the camera microphone. Well, it's a phone, really. The phone microphone. someone's hammering on something. You can hear that in the background. Oh, it's so good to get out on the trails, eh? So good. Anyway, I guess this is where I'll often stop because I'll close up and then I'm going to hit the road shortly. Let's just switch this around. Yeah. Okay, so again, hope everyone's doing great. Thanks for having a look. Everyone, you know, when you watch videos, they always say, oh, subscribe and like. You can do that if you want. But you don't have to. It doesn't really matter. No one hardly, well, I have some devoted fans, which I really appreciate. Fans, if you can call it that. Anyway, they're friends. And some friends that I don't actually know, but I think of them as friends. I mean you, Brendan. Anyway, and of course Su Chang watches them, and other people do too. So I appreciate that. Anyway, like or not like, it's up to you. Up to you. I don't even usually look. But every now and then I'll look and go, I wonder how many people are watching it. There's a couple, like one I did with, I guess it was a shamisen making one from years ago. That's up like more than 1,000 views. For me, that's viral. Okay, take care everyone, ciao.